Volleyball is one of the many sports that can have numerous games on one day, and that often happens with tournaments. We wanted to know just how hard it is to keep yourself going with those longer days. So we followed Benet Academy through one of their tournament adventures to get the inside scoop. Justin Cornwell has more on this, presented by Edward Medical Group.
On Saturday, September 21st, 2019, the 13th annual Wheaton Classic Girls Volleyball Tournament entered its second day of competition. After starting the tournament with 2-0 records in pool play, both Waubonsie Valley and Benet Academy earned one of the 8 coveted spots in the gold bracket of the 2014 two-day tournament.
We've played some good teams so far, and it showed what we can do as a team. We played a 3-set match in another tournament, and it just showed how we can bounce back and get that third set.
One of the biggest challenges facing coaches and players in the gauntlet of an all-day tournament is knowing that win or lose, by the end of the day, you will have played 3 matches against some of the top competition in the state in a 6-hour window. The day becomes a balancing act of getting rested and refueled between each game while finding a way to stay mentally and physically prepared for the next opponent. The favorites entering the 2019 tournament are perennial powers Benet Academy and Marist, a pair of East Suburban Catholic Conference rivals. The two teams have combined to win the Wheaton Classic 10 of the previous 12 years, with Marist defeating Benet in the championship game in 2017 and 2018. At about 2:45 p.m., Waubonsie Valley heads to the Orange and Black Gym inside Wheaton Warrenville South, after playing a hard-fought 3-set defeat at the hands of Plainfield North. The Warriors are scouting their next potential opponent, as they will take on the loser of the quarterfinal matchup between Marist and Plainfield Central. A few minutes later, fresh off a tough 3-set win over the host Wheaton South Tigers, Benet Academy wanders into the gym to get an early look at a team they could see in the finals. Despite the best efforts of Plainfield Central and 6'4" superstar senior outside hitter Taylor Landfair, Marist moves on to the semifinals with a 2-set victory. As consolation games take over the two main gyms, the Benet girls head to the fieldhouse to begin warm-ups for the semifinal game against Sandburg. Plainfield North grabs a bite to eat as a team before the semi against Marist, while the Redhawks keep things loose and unwind after a big victory. Waubonsie Valley now knows its opponent, but will have to wait in the fieldhouse for an open court before the match with Plainfield Central can begin.
We just have to make sure that we are, during our off time, we are ready to warm up, make sure we warm up and don't go off. We make sure that we stay together and don't go off by ourselves and stuff.
At 3:45 p.m., the Horsley Gym opens up for the Benet-Sandburg semifinal match. Red Wings head coach Brad Baker hopes to dispatch of the Eagles quickly, knowing that back-to-back 3-set matches could leave his team fatigued heading into the final game. Led by senior libero and Notre Dame commit Hattie Monson, the Red Wings take set 1 25-19. Over in the fieldhouse, Plainfield Central jumps out on Waubonsie, taking the first set 25-20, threatening to knock the Warriors into the 7th place game. After being tied midway through the second set, Benet catches fire in set number 2 behind junior setter Rachel Musinga and outside hitters Colleen McGuire and Sophie Gregus. After a straight set victory, the Red Wings have now made the finals of the Wheaton Classic 9 years in a row.
We usually just take everything one match at a time. It's a long day, but each game matters, so taking it one at a time is what's most important, and getting rest in between. Each tournament, we're hoping we get into the championship, and we usually do. That's our goal every time. So.
Just after 5 p.m., the Warriors battle back in set number 2, making enough plays to force a 3rd set for the 2nd consecutive game. Marist and Plainfield North take the court in the 2nd semifinal in the Orange and Black Gym. A few Benet players unwind as they scope out the competition for the championship match. While Marist takes control in the opening set, Coach Baker and assistant coach Jeff Steinberg watch from the stands as they begin to discuss strategy in the limited time between matches.
We have some scouting on teams, and we just have to have the systems in place that we can put in so kids know what they're doing. The adjustments that we're making, and just based on the different hitters and we have to be telling them more than they're knowing just because they have 3 different opponents on a different day. And that's a really difficult team to scout.
Marist does not give the Benet coaches much time to scout, as they dispatch of Plainfield North quickly 25-16, 25-14. A little before 5:45 p.m., Plainfield Central and Waubonsie battle on in the third set. Even though the tournament title is out of reach, each team wants to finish strong as possible and advance to the fifth-place game. Finally, the Warriors secure a 28-26 third set win on an ace from Jessica Molina. Despite the excitement over the comeback win, senior outside hitter and eventual all-tournament selection Trinity Evans knows the team must turn the page quickly and get ready for their next game against Wheaton Warrenville South.
We just have to know that we're doing it for like our rankings and stuff. So we just have to know that we can't just mope on one game. We have to like bounce back and like trust each other and one another to actually like go into the next game with a clear mind and like just like make it like it's the first game of the day.
While the Silver Bracket Championship is played in the orange and black gym, Benet begins to get loose in the hallway, having changed into fresh uniforms. The Red Hawks of Marist, flying high after another convincing victory, entertain the remaining fans with a choreographed performance in the cafeteria. Finally, at 6:20 p.m., nearly 5 hours since the gold bracket began, Benet Academy and Marist tip off in the Wheaton Classic Championship for a third consecutive year. The Red Wings have been waiting a long time for another shot at Marist. Not only did they lose to the Red Hawks in this tournament the past 2 seasons, Marist also defeated Benet in the state semifinals last November on the way to a second consecutive state championship trophy. But in the first set, Marist proves that not much has changed over the past 2 years. Senior outside hitter Cameron Hanna throws down multiple thunderous kills. The size of middle blockers Ellie Kerpakis and Mary Claire Brusek form a wall against the Red Wing hitters. The Red Hawks control set 1 throughout, winning 25-22, 1 set away from a three-peat. The second set is much more back and forth, but with Benet clinging to a narrow lead, Rachel Musinga exits the game after taking an errant elbow to the forehead and must sit out while being examined for a concussion. But sophomore Sam Buckley comes off the bench and delivers for her team when her number is called. With the welt growing larger by the minute, Musinga returns to the floor as Marist ties things up at 25 apiece. With the Red Hawks looking for another powerful kill to take the lead, the Benet defense stands tall with back-to-back blocks to take the set 29-27 to force a third. Set 3 is a roller coaster ride throughout, with the Red Wings surging to a 14-10 lead. Marist shows its championship medal by going on a 10-1 run to take a 20-15 lead. But this Benet team has been preparing for moments like this all day and all season, using preparation, recuperation, and determination to rise to the occasion when their backs hit the wall. At 7:53 p.m., the Red Wings complete a 10-1 run of their own as a Marist kill sails long and the Benet bench storms the court. It's the 8th Wheaton Classic Championship for the Benet program, but the first for any player on the current roster. A feat not lost on senior leader and tournament MVP Hattie Monson.
I just know the feeling the past 3 years I've had at this point in the season, and this is our first loss. Last year, the year before that, it was our first loss, so it feels good still being undefeated.
It still doesn't really hit me that we've actually won, because I don't know, Benet and Marist have the biggest rivalry, and it just feels so good to finally beat them.
It's just a fun volleyball day, right? I mean, this team has huge goals. They want to do great things, but you got to enjoy days like today. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, where things are going to go down the road, and you got to celebrate successes like today.
While the hard work and preparation throughout the day has paid off, the undefeated Red Wings know that the journey is far from over. And to understand where they want the season to end, you just need to listen to the team's breakdown chant.
See you on 3, 1, 2, 3, 6!
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Justin Cornwell.